They ruled with divine power and disappeared without a trace. Their names were once whispered with fear, carved into temples, sung by millions and then erased. Not by time, but by human hands. Because some histories are too dangerous to remember. Welcome to Dark History Files. Tonight we dig up what empires tried to bury, the forbidden dynasties of Asia. Our journey begins in ancient China, around 2100 BC. Before the Han, before the Tang, there was the Xia dynasty. The first rulers of China, or so the stories claim. Yet for centuries, the Xia have been dismissed as a legend, a convenient myth to explain China's early past. But archaeologists started finding things: ancient city ruins, bronze relics, royal tombs matching Xia legends. Then came the discovery at Erlitou, a site filled with palaces and jade treasures. The government called it pre-Shang culture. But the timeline fits the Xia exactly. So why deny their existence? Because to admit the Xia were real would mean rewriting everything we know about Chinese civilization. It would mean that the later dynasties, those who claimed divine right, might have ruled on stolen legitimacy. A buried truth hidden behind political pride. Cross the sea to ancient Japan, and you'll find another missing chapter. A queen so mysterious that even Japan's official chronicle refused to name her clearly. Queen Himiko, ruler of the Yamatai kingdom. In the 3rd century, she united warring tribes using not armies, but rituals. She spoke with the gods or claimed to. Foreign envoys from China described her as a shaman empress, surrounded by 1,000 female attendants, living in a fortress where no man could enter. When she died, the records say her people built a giant tomb and buried hundreds of servants alive to follow her into the afterlife. Then silence. Japan's later emperors removed her from official history. Why? Because she was a woman, and her rule didn't fit the imperial family's sacred male bloodline. Some historians now believe Japan's imperial myth was rebuilt over her grave. Her dynasty didn't fade. It was erased to protect the illusion of divine purity. Far to the west, in ancient India, stood the Nanda Empire, a dynasty so powerful that even Alexander the Great turned back at its border. Their armies numbered in the hundreds of thousands, their wealth unmatched in all of Asia. But when the Mauryan Empire rose, the Nandas vanished from glory. Every record praising them was destroyed. What we know comes from fragments, coins, inscriptions, whispers from Greek historians. The Mauryan Emperor Chandragupta seized power by overthrowing the last Nanda king. And as conquerors do, he rewrote history. The Nandas were painted as corrupt, greedy, and cruel. But what if that was propaganda? What if the real reason for their erasure was fear? Fear of a dynasty too wealthy, too united, too untouchable. Some Indian texts hint the Nandas guarded secret technologies, early engineering knowledge, and perhaps even chemical warfare tactics that vanished after their fall. Coincidence or deliberate destruction of knowledge? The truth sleeps beneath Patna's soil, where their capital once stood. Now we sail south to Southeast Asia, where the forgotten Majapahit Empire once ruled. Centered in modern-day Indonesia, the Majapahit were the masters of maritime Asia. Their fleets ruled the Indian Ocean. Their culture influenced lands that would become Malaysia, Thailand, and the Philippines. But when the empire collapsed in the 15th century, something strange happened. Its history was systematically erased by colonial powers and local rivals alike. For centuries, European historians dismissed Majapahit as a tribal kingdom. But unearthed ruins tell another story. Vast temples, complex irrigation systems, gold inscriptions celebrating an empire that stretched beyond imagination. The fall of Majapahit wasn't natural, it was engineered. Foreign powers, religion, and rebellion combined to erase its memory so that the archipelago could be rewritten as a land with no great past. Because controlling a people's memory makes controlling their future easier. Our next dynasty never officially existed, yet its legend echoes across the mountains of Tibet and Mongolia. Some call it the Kingdom of Zhang, a mysterious realm predating Buddhism in Tibet. Its rulers were said to possess secret texts called the Bon, and knowledge of sky gods who taught them to rule. When Buddhism spread through Tibet, the monks declared the old religion heretical and wiped Zhang from history. But in 1930, explorers found ancient fortresses high in the Himalayas, built before Tibetan records began. Local monks whispered that Zhang's last emperor didn't die. He transcended, becoming a sky being, forever watching over the mountains. Was that faith, or a coded memory of a ruler who escaped into legend? In Cambodia, the Chenla kingdom once ruled before the Khmer Empire. They believed their kings were half-gods, able to speak with ancestral spirits through fire rituals. But after the Khmer rose, Chenla's records were burned, their temples repurposed, their gods renamed. Only a few inscriptions survive, speaking of a line of kings erased by heaven's will. Some archaeologists say the Chenla practiced something too forbidden, rituals the later rulers deemed demonic. Others believe it was political, a dynasty too unique to be remembered. What connects all these vanished dynasties? Power and fear. Each of them threatened the narrative of those who came after. Each dared to claim divine origin or to challenge the chosen lineage. And so the victors rewrote history brick by brick, scroll by scroll. But ruins don't lie. They rise from the jungle, whispering names no historian dares to speak. You can erase ink, but you can't silence stone. History isn't a story of truth, it's a story of survival. What's remembered isn't what happened. It's what the powerful allowed to remain. And somewhere in the dark corners of Asia, the real emperors, the forbidden ones, still wait for their resurrection. Because memory always returns, even when buried for 1,000 years. So next time you see a nameless statue, a cracked temple wall, or a forgotten name in an old book, ask yourself, was this a myth or a truth someone tried to hide? If this story made you question what you were taught, there's more where this came from. Ancient lies, hidden empires, truths buried under time itself. Subscribe to Dark History Files, where the past reveals its darkest secrets.